Welcome to today's episode of Angels Don't Lie with your host, Jeanne Street. Today's episode is designed to help you better understand the signs and messages that you are receiving or would like to receive. Jeanne shares that when we are in union with God and His light has filled our heart, mind, and being, we then can attract His loving and gentle guidance through signs and messages. There is a reason why you have been led to listen today. You may be healing from the loss of a loved one, learning how to work with your innate spiritual gifts, or looking for guidance in your life to raise your vibration, feel uplifted and connected to a divine higher power and your higher self. No matter where you are on your journey and path, you're in the perfect place. We hope you enjoy the 205th episode of Angels Don't Lie.
When she smiles at you, she'll say, angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. No, no, angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. No, 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 no.
So welcome to Angels Don't Lie. I'm your host, Jeanne Street. And again, in this episode, we're going to talk about signs and messages and how to know if you are actually receiving a message from heaven. I've had so many people say to me, Jeanne, I just don't understand if this is a message, if this is guidance, it doesn't make sense, or they just really poo-poo and push it away. So in this episode, I really wanted to connect you with your ability to channel these messages, to receive them, and not poo-poo them, not push them away. I want you to trust in them. I want you to believe them. So let's start with that the energy that we connect with is going to be how we're receiving. And last episode, I talked about safeguarding our energy. This is a very important step. We want to start here because if we're not safeguarding our energy and we aren't aligning to the energy in which we want to connect with, then we're open to receiving messages from all over the place, low frequencies. And we'll get into that a little further in this month's series that I'm doing on connecting to heaven. So for now, what I want to just say is go back and watch that previous or listen to that previous episode so that way you can know how do I safeguard my energy and use that statement that I shared inside that episode. And the next step we want to do once we have our energy safeguarded and we are aligned to heaven, we're aligned to God, because this is the most important part, now we can start to receive those messages and trust in them. So a couple of tools that we can work with in order to lean into these messages is one, first we want to hold them in our heart. We want to receive them through the heart center, the eyes of the heart, so to speak. We can talk about this with the third eye. We can break it down into chakra points as well. What do the signs and messages mean? Hey, listen, if you've ever wondered or doubted that you're receiving divine guidance, or you have felt like, I just don't know, Jeanne, if this is a sign. I don't know how to interpret this message. I'm not sure if this is my grandfather talking to me or my departed loved one. You're going to love this episode. It contains so much yumminess that will support you in knowing, trusting, and believing in the signs that are meant for you. So let's get started. So once we're aligned, now we want to put our call into heaven. We want to call God and say, I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to receive these messages and these signs. And you're going to place that call. And so we can do this in our mind, or we can even do this out loud. We can do this within a prayer. So we're going to ask God to assist us with something. So it's simple, it's easy, it's not even difficult. Like I'm telling you, this is like the easiest thing and most natural thing you have ever done. Such as asking to receive a message or a sign from a departed loved one. The key here is to be really specific with what you'd like to receive, right? So for example, hi God, my heart is lonely and I am really missing my grandfather. Can you please ask him to send me a verbal message so I know that he's okay, letting me know that he's around? Thank you. Thank you, God. I really appreciate this. So one, in these key points, let's break this down a little bit. Speak to God as yourself. Don't talk to God as if you're a stranger, right? Don't be overly formal. Be respectful. Be kind. Be you. Tell God what's bothering you, right? So don't hold back. Let it out. If your heart is aching, if you're having a hard time grieving, if you're having a hard time navigating something, He already knows. So let Him know what you're feeling. Ask for what you want. Don't just leave it up to chance. Like, we want to be specific. And thank Him. Lean into appreciation and gratitude, because with that open heart, this is how He can pour more love and more understanding into us. Look, maybe you're like, hey, Jeannie, I'm already receiving signs. I'm noticing them anywhere, but I want to know what they mean. All right, so stay with me here. This is the next phase, right? We want to break this down nice and easy so you can interpret all of these signs, right? I know you're already receiving these signs, because the biggest problem I see from most people is they're not asking for the answers from the right source, right? They're not asking from God. They might be leaving it up to receive just from the universe, or receiving from earthbound energy, or nowhere in particular. And this leaves us open to receiving low vibe energy from all over the place. So unless you are aligned with God first, signs will come in, but they will be low vibe. They'll have scattery energy. They'll feel staticky, and they won't leave us feeling up and happy and joyful. They'll leave us confused. So this is kind of a rule around manifesting, because this is what we're doing when we're receiving messages. And the basic rules of manifesting are that we receive the energy that we are currently in. Therefore, if you are trying and worrying and doubting or questioning and receiving what these signs are and trying to make a match out of them, you never are going to meet the end there. It's never going to feel good. But there's good news that when we are in union with God, when we are in this relationship with His glory, our hearts are filled, our minds are filled, and we are attracting more of His love, more of His guidance, through the messages from our departed loved ones, through our angels and our guides. This will have you feeling up level. This will be bringing a promise for us. So with God, your signs are going to be loving, kind, and direct. You won't question or doubt them. You will trust in the power of His grace. And when we aren't in that alignment, we can expect to be confused. We can expect to have fear-based messages come to us, predictive type of energy. And that is never what we want to do. We want to stay in alignment with free will. So I hope this serves you today and lifts you up and reminds you that you get to choose the energy that you show up in and that you receive into your life. Happy messages, my friend. May God bless you and keep you.